Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Dan the Happy Idiot, and today we're going to be taking apart a Realist Apache 4-power rifle scope. It's marked Apache right there. I have a feeling these were made in bulk for other people. This is a Revelation, I believe, sold by Sears. Very similar plastic. It's got the plastic ocular, plastic objective lens cover type thing. The lens is actually down here. You'll see when I take it apart. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take off the objective. Da-da-da-da. And it's off. Set it there for right now. I'm going to get my lens remover thing. I'm going to reach in here, set it for the correct width, lock them down, and then undo the lens. And they can be a bugger sometimes. This one, I believe, has corrosion around the threads and it's making it a little hard to get it undone. And just by listening to the squeaking it's making, it makes me think that it does have corrosion. And there's that lens. This little objective shade just pops off. I'll set that over there. And so now we'll just set this aside for the time being. And we'll clean this lens up. First the inside of the lens, then the outside. Usually I wait until I put the scope all back together to clean the outside of the lens. But being as this is so deep in there, it's kind of hard to reach it and get it clean effectively. Okay, get the ocular lens, take that part. It would probably be faster if I used my lens retainer tool there, but and that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So there's two lenses, a spacer, and the lens retainer. So I get the first lens out, clean it up real good. And put it in the same way it came out. Trying to touch it right on the edge to get it to plop down where it should go. Get the spacer in there. Get the other lens and clean it also. And then I'm going to put it in. And put the lens retainer back in. putting this metal lens retainer into this plastic lens holder assembly, it's real easy to get the threads cross-threaded. So make sure you don't get those cross-threaded. Okay, so both of those lenses are clean. So now I'm going to take the turrets off. The turrets, they're kind of funky. They're exposed friction adjusters. One piece turret for the windage and the elevation. So we'll just pull that apart, set that aside, get my handy dandy Mossberg tube, which is this one, and then push the erector lens assembly out. Turn it over to catch the crosshairs. And then put the crosshairs aside so they stay in good condition. They don't get broken or anything like that. Okay. A lot of these American-made 22 3/4-inch scopes look to be made by Weaver. This is the same on the Weaver. It's basically the same on a lot of the other ones I've taken apart on this channel. I got this, let me see, this lens retainer at the very back. It holds the whole assembly together. A spring, a spacer, and lenses. Okay, so we're going to take it apart. And it also has a brass holder in there, all the way down in there. Brass washer type of thing. Sometimes that comes out, sometimes it doesn't. Just be aware that it's there. So I'm going to take the one lens out. Basically going to do it from the front to the back. Clean the lens. Put it in a tube, put the tube over on the metal to keep everything in order. Pull this orifice thing off. Get the other lens. Clean that lens up. Check it, make sure it's clean. Put the orifice thing back on it. Grab my tube with the first lens in it. And put that back over. Put it back over on my metal chunk. Clean the last lens off. Check it and make sure it's clean. Get my erector lens tube assembly. Put the lens on there. Put the little lens retainer thing. Like I said, I don't know if Weaver made them, but my gosh, they're very similar to all the Weavers and all the other scopes I've taken apart that I know Weaver made, because it's so obvious that Weaver made them. Push this down, push the lens down, get the retainer, spin the retainer so it holds everything together. Like so. Put the cap back on the pen so it don't dry up. Clean off any residue that might have been on the pen cap. Alright. So I'll get the reticle. And even the reticle is Weaver style. Look at some of my other videos where it's got Weavers. That's very similar to the Weaver style. Put this in, it should snap into that hole. Well, it snapped in, but it didn't make too much noise. Okay, we're going to line this hole up with that hole. And that's where it screws on, so that's going to line up with that. So push it in a little bit. Get my Mossberg tube. There. Straighten this up in the hole somewhat. Put the turrets back on. I lined the hole up for the screw, and now I can screw the screw in. I'll put the scope shade thingy back on. It's got a cutout right here, and the shade tube thing's got a cutout there. Cutout that you have to line up also. Okay, slide it back in. Now this can be a booger sometimes. So I'm going to use my tweezers to put it in place. I'm going to use my lens remover tool. Screw it back in. And it can sometimes not be so easy because you're working an inch inside of this little scope shade thing. But with a little perseverance, you'll be able to get it. There, that's tight. Put the objective, the ocular lens back on. And like with all the other Weaver style, you adjust the parallax with this. This will slide back a little bit. So, I'm gonna slide this back just a little bit. Wrong way. Slide it forward just a little bit. Perfect. Let me tighten this up. And you're good to go. And that's how you take apart a Realist Apache 4-power telescope, 4-power rifle scope. These were made from 1965 to 74. Like I said, they're very similar to all the other Weavers of the era. From the crosshair reticle holder to the lens retainers and all that other stuff. So once you take it apart, you'll see that it's very similar to all the other American-made scopes of the era. Okay, so that's it. Thanks. My name's Dan. I'm the happy idiot. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.